Some people regularly talk to themselves. They whisper thoughts while working, rehearse conversations out loud, or quietly narrate what they're doing. To outsiders, this behavior can seem strange or even embarrassing. But psychologically, self-talk is far more common and far more useful than people realize. In fact, talking to yourself can reflect several healthy mental processes. First, self-talk helps organize thoughts. The human brain processes thousands of ideas, worries, and decisions every day. When thoughts stay only inside the mind, they can become tangled and overwhelming. Speaking them out loud forces the brain to slow down and structure them. In simple terms, the voice acts like an external thinking tool. It turns vague ideas into clear sentences, making problems easier to understand. Psychologists often describe this as externalized thinking. When people talk to themselves, they are essentially hearing their own reasoning. This can help the brain detect errors, clarify plans, and strengthen decision-making. Many people notice that when they say something out loud, the answer suddenly becomes clearer. Self-talk also plays a powerful role in emotional regulation. When someone is stressed, anxious, or upset, talking through the situation can calm the nervous system. Instead of letting emotions spiral internally, the person creates a conversation with themselves. This helps the brain process feelings rather than suppress them. It's similar to how talking with a friend can provide relief, except the conversation is happening internally. Interestingly, research shows that using your own name during self-talk can increase emotional control. When someone says something like, "You can handle this," instead of, "I can handle this," it creates a small psychological distance. That distance allows the brain to shift from emotional reaction to problem-solving mode. Another important function of self-talk is focus. Athletes, performers, and high achievers often use self-directed speech to guide their actions. A runner might say, "Keep going," or "Stay steady." This type of instruction helps maintain concentration and motivation. The brain responds to spoken cues as signals for action. Self-talk is also connected to creativity. When people speak their thoughts freely, they often generate ideas more easily. Writers, artists, and inventors sometimes talk through possibilities while working. The brain treats spoken words as feedback, which can spark new associations and insights. For many people, talking to themselves also acts as mental rehearsal. Before an important conversation or event, someone might practice what they plan to say. This rehearsal reduces anxiety because the brain becomes familiar with the situation before it actually happens. Interestingly, self-talk often develops early in childhood. Young children frequently speak aloud while playing or solving puzzles. Psychologists call this private speech. It helps children guide their behavior and learn problem-solving skills. As people grow older, this speech usually becomes internal, what we call inner dialogue. But for some individuals, speaking parts of that dialogue out loud remains helpful. It's important to note that healthy self-talk is different from the clinical symptoms sometimes associated with hearing voices. In normal self-talk, the person is fully aware they are speaking to themselves and remains in control of the conversation. It's simply a thinking strategy, not a sign of losing touch with reality. In fact, people who talk to themselves often show higher levels of self-reflection. They are actively engaging with their own thoughts rather than ignoring them. This can lead to better problem-solving, stronger emotional awareness, and clearer decision-making. Self-talk can also improve memory. Saying information aloud reinforces it in the brain. That's why people often read things out loud when they want to remember them. The brain processes spoken information through multiple sensory pathways, strengthening recall. However, the tone of self-talk matters. Supportive self-talk can boost confidence and resilience, but harsh or critical self-talk can increase stress and self-doubt. The brain tends to believe the words it repeatedly hears, even when those words come from itself. Ultimately, talking to yourself is not a sign of loneliness or instability. It's a natural cognitive tool that helps the brain process information, manage emotions, and stay focused. Many highly thoughtful and creative individuals use self-talk as a way to understand their own minds. So the next time you notice someone quietly speaking to themselves, it may not mean they are distracted or strange. It may simply mean their brain is actively working through ideas, organizing thoughts, and guiding itself toward clarity.